Hey everyone, welcome back. You know how we love digging into unexpected career paths. Well, buckle up, because this deep dive is all about foundry molders.
And before you think, oh, just molten metal, trust us, it's way more interesting than it sounds. We had a mountain of info sent in on this one.
Right, like I had no idea how much skill and honestly artistry goes into this. But first things first, gotta lay the groundwork.
Absolutely. Break it down.
So a foundry molder, they're the ones creating the cores, right? Think of it like this. Imagine the hollow part inside something metal, an engine block, for example.
Oh, perfect example. The intricate channels for oil, coolant, that's where cores come in. The mold is the outside shape. The core creates the inside shape.
Whoa, okay, so it's like 3D thinking on another level.
Exactly. And the precision needed is insane. I was reading about jet engine turbine blades.
No way, those things are intense.
Right. The heat, the pressure, the core design is critical, not just for the engine working, but for it not, exploding.
That's a pretty important detail.
Yeah, understatement of the year. So it's not just pouring molten metal. It's understanding how the metal solidifies around these intricate cores.
So it's like, I don't know, predicting the future of how the metal will cool and everything.
Kind of. They use blueprints. They have to calculate shrinkage rates, make sure those cores are positioned perfectly. Otherwise, scrap metal.
Sounds like a job for someone who loves a challenge. And maybe has a bit of an artistic side, too.
Totally. Spatial reasoning, technical skills is a real blend.
Okay, so we're talking high pressure, literally with the molten metal, but also figuratively, right? Like tight tolerances, no room for error.
Oh yeah, fast-paced environment, got to think on your feet. Core breaks, mold doesn't feel right. You need to adapt and fast.
Adapting on the fly with, like, literal fire. Sounds intense, but so cool. Makes you wonder about the job market for this, right? Is it super competitive?
You'd think so, yeah. But actually, everything we read said it's looking good for aspiring foundry molders. Skilled trades are in demand, especially for specialized stuff.
That's good news. But then how does someone move up in this field? It's not like going from junior molder to senior molder, is it?
Right. It's more about, I guess you could say, branching out, becoming the go-to for a specific metal, or making those super complex cores for aerospace, stuff like that, or some move into leadership, training the next generation.
So you could start loving the hands-on work and end up leading the whole innovation side of things. Wild.
Exactly. And with 3D printing and all that starting to change how foundries work, those who can bridge the gap, huge opportunity there.
Makes sense. Okay, but backing up a bit, how does one even become a foundry molder? Is it a college degree thing or?
That's the best part. It's more about apprenticeship. Learning by doing from the pros, high school diploma usually, but then it's all about those apprenticeships. That's where the real learning happens.
Yeah, our sources were big on those. Not just the techniques, but like that gut feeling you get for the materials. That's got to be from experience, right?
100%. You can't learn that from a textbook. It's about getting your hands dirty, making mistakes, learning from the best.
And with all this tech coming in, those mentors, they're even more important. Someone's got to guide newbies on how to blend the old ways with the new tools, right?
Absolutely. Imagine learning to program a 3D printer one day, then using a technique that's been around for a century the next. That's the future of this field.
That's amazing. And it sounds like no matter what kind of learner you are, there's a place for you in this. Hands-on, problem-solving, tech-savvy, something for everyone.
You got it. If you're into the precision of making things, figuring out puzzles, or you love how tech is changing stuff, foundry molding might just surprise you.
It certainly surprised me. And speaking of getting a head start in this field, we've got to talk about the resources out there, right? Specifically, RoleCatcher.
Oh yeah, that's a game changer, especially now when finding the right job is so important.
For sure. So let's break it down. How can RoleCatcher help someone who's like, okay, I'm into this whole foundry molder thing. What's next?
Well, they've got this massive database of interview questions. Like, imagine being able to practice answering questions specific to the foundry industry beforehand. Huge leg up.
That's so smart. Like showing up prepared is one thing, but having answers ready that show you get the industry, that's got to be gold.
Exactly. It shows commitment, that you've done your homework, that you're serious about this.
Serious about standing out, yeah. But it's not just about looking prepared, right? RoleCatcher, they go a step further with that whole AI thing.
Oh, absolutely. That's where it gets really cool. They can actually analyze your CV, compared to what foundry jobs are looking for, and get this, suggest ways to make it better.
Whoa. So it's not just, here's a template, good luck. It's tailoring your experience to the exact skills foundries want to see.
Exactly. You're highlighting those things you learned in your apprenticeship or that specific project you did. It's all about showing them you're the one they need.
Smart. And then on top of all that, RoleCatcher helps you actually manage the whole job hunt too, right?
Right. Keeping track of where you applied, who you talked to,
Yeah.
even jotting down notes. Easy to get overwhelmed with that stuff otherwise.
Seriously, it's like having a personal assistant for your career,
Yeah.
and that lets you focus on, the actual work of getting the job. So we've covered a lot about Foundry Moulders, the skills, the tech, even how to land a job. But for someone listening who's still unsure, what's the most exciting thing about this field? What would you tell them?
For me, it's the mix of old and new. You're part of something ancient, working with metal, but you're also on the cutting edge, using 3D printing and all that. It's the best of both worlds.
And you're making things that matter. Parts for cars and airplanes, even medical devices. That's got to feel good.
100%. Knowing your work has an impact, that's huge.
Couldn't agree more. So, to everyone listening, we hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the world of foundry molding. It's a career path that's demanding, for sure, but also incredibly rewarding. If you're looking for a job that's hands-on, always evolving, and makes a real difference, this could be it. And hey, if you're ready to take that next step, don't forget to check out RoleCatcher. Their platform can give you the edge you need in this field. That's it for us this time. Keep those minds curious, and we'll catch you on our next deep dive.